In this segment on ConnectEd, we're going to look at browsing or searching for resources, making assignments, and sending messages. In order to do any of these, you're going to go down and go into the management system through associated course content with the material that you're looking at. So I'm going to go into physical science. You'll notice at the top you have three tabs: Browse, Manage and Assign, My Files. My Files takes the least explanation. This is simply where you would upload some of your own materials that you want to have available to you for you to assign to students. So I can go to Upload New Files. When it comes up, I can select the file. I can go anywhere on my computer. So I'm just going to click into My Files and I'm going to grab this JPEG right here. I don't have to do just images. I could actually look at text files, Word documents, so on as I go through this. But I'm going to go in and I'm going to actually select this image right here and say I want to upload that file. You do only have a certain amount of space on here, and I don't remember what the requirements are, but you'll continually have on here a record of how much space that you've used. So that one's done. And I'm going to get out of there. In a little bit, that image will be available for me as it's registered now. The second tab on here that we're going to look into is Browse. And Browse allows you to look through the different resources both in the program that you're currently using, like in this case Physical iScience, or materials outside of this program. If I want to look at resources within the program, this top box right here actually is the source I'm going to use. So if I know I'm looking in a particular unit, I'm looking in Unit 3 on Atoms and Elements, I click on that. The resources listed to your right are resources that are specifically for that unit. So there's a mini lab piece both for student and teacher. If I go into the chapter, like Chapter 10, the materials now listed on my right are materials that are specific to Chapter 10 as a whole, not specific lessons, but the whole chapter. So quick vocabulary, the periodic table, concept map, and so on. If I want to look in a specific lesson, I click on the specific lesson, and it takes me down to the lesson level where I have resources that are specifically for this lesson. And then if I wanted to, I could even subdivide further and go into specific days. This lesson has a 3-day pacing guide. Now the other option for me is to look at specific kinds of resources. So if I go to the left, I actually have a couple sets of filters that are useful to me. I can eliminate the teacher materials and look at only student resources, or vice versa. I could look at specific grade level. I could look at specific category. Any category listed, any grade level listed, that means there are materials currently right now that are available in that specific area. So if I look at these, I want to find, okay, what animations are available for this lesson. I click on the animation tab and it lists the 2 animations that are available to me. At any point in time, I can go back up to the chapter level, the unit level, or the book level itself. I can also get rid of my filters by simply clicking the X mark. It will remove that filter and bring up all the materials that are available. Now, one of the nice things about this search feature within the book is that not only are you able to look at these resources, you have some things that you can do with them. So let's go back for a minute to the chapter level, Chapter 10 on the periodic table. And you're going to notice here I have a variety of different activities that are available. But what I want to look at is I want to look at this interactive concept map. So I could scroll down or I can simply click on it. Now I'm just going to scroll down to it. Some of the options I have. First of all, the blue star. If I click that, I can add that to my favorites. If I click it again, it will remove it. So the yellow star tells me it's been added to my favorites. The notepad here is I can actually leave notes. This was a very effective activity. Okay. So I know that I want to use this again next year. So I can add my notes, and then I have a variety of tools. I can preview it. I can view the details about this assignment. If I view the details, it's going to bring up and just give me the basic information on this activity. I can also email resource details, and when I click this option, This actually sent me an email with a URL link that I can then post on my web page, on my Moodle site, that links directly to this specific activity. Now when the student clicks that link on your web page or your Moodle page, it will take them to the ConnectEd sign-in. They'll put in their username and password, but then instead of going to their home page, they will be linked directly to this activity. The other option I have is when I click Tools, this is one of the two ways to make assignments. I can go down and I can click Assign, and when I do that, it brings up my assignment sheet. Now, this is going to be familiar to you as we go throughout. Okay, I want to give the assignment a name. This is going to be the chapter concept map. I can leave any instructions. When you finish, print screen and paste in an email and send to my Dropbox. Start date is the first date that it will show up on their assignment list. Due date, when you think it should be due, or when you determine it will be due. This is due on the 19th. The expiration date is when it drops off the student list. So I'm going to give them a couple extra days to get this in. I'll take off some points as they do that. You're going to notice that resource is already attached to the assignment. And then I can go down, and this is a nice feature. If every student in my class here gets this assignment, I simply check the student box right above it. If they don't, if this is only going to specific students, I simply check those students that it's going to. Or if it's going to most students, I can check all students, and then I can remove the 2 students that are not going to get this assignment. Okay. When I finish with that, I've set my date, given a name, I simply hit Assign. Okay. And that's been assigned my physical hour, second hour. So I don't want to make assignment, I don't want to view details, I simply want to go back. Okay, so I'm back where I started. So at any point in time when I'm looking at more browsing my book resources, I can get the URL link right here and I can assign those. Now a nice feature in ConnectEd is that with a teacher resource like these teacher chapter resource files, when I go to Tools, I can create an email link, but I cannot assign this to students because it's a teacher resource. So one of the ways to browse is to browse your actual program that you're looking at in the top box in this left corner right here. There's a second way to search for materials, and that is to search ConnectEd. And if I go up to this search box at the top, I can put in any topic, like I could put in volcano, and search that. And it's not only going to search my material, it's going to search all the material we have in the McGraw-Hill database that's not premium content. So you're going to notice here in my files, I have material that's K through 12. Notice the variety of types of materials I have: animation, concept and motion, down to the bottom, virtual labs, videos. So I want to go in here, and I have a really struggling student. I want to see what's available on a 4th grade level. When I click the 4th grade filter, it removes all the other materials. It still shows me the categories that I have, and over here I can look at the materials. So I need to look at student resources that are available. And so when I bring this up, I have 3 different pieces that I can pull in that deal with this issue that I'm looking at. I can go back and remove the filters. I can also go to higher grade level. So in this one, I'm looking for virtual labs. And when I click this, I have 6th through 12th grade virtual labs. I actually want something on a higher level, let's say on an 11th grade level. So I've got 2 different, a video lab and a virtual lab, that can be used here. And again, I have these same features. I have my favorites, I can leave notes, I can go to my tools, I can assign these materials that are outside of this. Now one last feature this is used for. Let's say that you're dealing with physical science and one of the math concepts, and I'm going to get rid of my filters here very quickly. And we're doing something that involves ratios, and they're struggling with this. I can go up and search for ratios and actually bring up materials that are available from our math and science programs, not just not just the science program. And again, from these, you can click down, you can create an email link, you can get assigned, you can preview, or you can view the details of that material. So you can browse two ways. You can browse your book, or you can browse by topic as you're in here. So when I go back to the browse button, if I want to browse my content, I go to the box in the top left corner. If I want to browse extra material including my content, I can go up to the search box at the top. So that's also one of the two ways to make assignments. So the browse feature is very, very helpful. I'm going to show you one other piece. If I go in and I click on Manage and Assign, I want to show you one other way to make assignments. I can either go from my home page right here and go to Make an Assignment, or I can go to my assignment tracker, which shows me the assignments that I've created for this class. And from here I can say I want to make an assignment. Now when would you use this? You would use this two times. You would use this if you want to make an assignment without a resource. So right here, this is Friday's reading assignment. And I want them to read Chapter 5, Section 2 by tomorrow. Alright, this goes to all my students. The start date is the 14th, the due date is the 15th, and it expires on the 16th. I don't need a resource, so I simply click Assign. So let's now go to Assignment Tracker, which is where we're at. Let's make an assignment. And here's the third type of assignment you can make. I'm going to make this a sample assignment. Give instructions, look over the resource, and journal your thoughts. I decide which students get this. I set my dates again. And the other piece I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to attach a resource. So I can go into Edit, because there's something I want to go along with this. I can pick something out of my favorites. I could search resources, or I could go to My Files. And under My Files are the materials. Here's the one I uploaded earlier to My Files. I'm going to add that to this. I'm done with that. So you notice the resource is attached, even though it's my material, to be able to go in. I decide which students get this. And again, this is one I want all of them to have. I simply check the box. And when I get done, I simply click Assign. So now there's my sample assignment. It has the materials. I can pull up the details of this. And if I need to, I can delete this from students. I mean, I can do a whole lot of things with this. I can go into Edit. I can copy it to a different class hour and so on as I go through. So browse, I simply go in. I can browse both my book and I can browse the resources outside of it. I would say this, if I'm going to make an assignment using a resource from my program, it's easier to make the assignment from the browse page than it is to go to Manage and Assign and search it out, unless you've already saved that material in your files, in your favorites rather. My Files is simply where I go in and I upload my own material and save it. And then finally, Manage and Assign is where I can go in. I can create my assignments through Assignment Tracker or from my home page. One last note I want to make is you also have a tab here called My Messages. This tab allows you to send messages to your students. So I want to send a message. It has an expiration date, and this expiration date is limited, 1, 2, or 3 months. I'm going to go in and send the message that science fair is due on 10/16, and I want that available for 2 months, so I'm going to send that message to that class. And it goes to everyone in the class. You can't alter it for who the message goes to. If you want to alter it to specific students, do it as an assignment without a resource. So we've reviewed browsing, we've reviewed My Files, we've reviewed Manage and Assign, the Assignment Tracker, and My Messages, some of the tools that you have in ConnectEd that are very useful to you.